Hey guys, Melissa Dargan here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel on personal finance, where I talk about all things money. One of my YouTube series covers US Congress and how to live on a public sector salary, because that's how I got my career started. Speaking of career starts, in this video, I'll count down my top 10 picks of celebrities, pro athletes, and reality TV stars who you may not have known once served as a congressional intern. So be sure to watch this video to see who our number one pick is. All these people once roamed the halls of US Congress, and look where they are now. Talk about starting from the bottom, and now look where they are. Now, if you like this content, please hit that like button and press subscribe to be updated whenever new personal finance or government-related videos are released. Best part is that liking and subscribing is completely free and extremely helps with the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate your support. Thanks, guys. Let's get started. Number 10, Ben Savage. Bennett Joseph Savage, aka Ben Savage, interned for U.S. Senator Arlen Specter. He is most famous for playing the lead role of Corey Matthews on the ABC sitcom Boy Meets World and its Disney Channel sequel series Girl Meets World. When Boy Meets World wrapped up in 2000, Savage, what a last name, right, was ready to move on from show business. So Savage enrolled at Stanford University. At Stanford, Savage surprisingly didn't major in theater, film, communications, or any other kinds of arts. Instead, he pursued a degree in political science. During this time in 2003, Savage served as a congressional intern in the Washington, D.C. office of the late Pennsylvania Senator Arlen Specter. Can you imagine interning with someone you grew up watching on television? In the interview with Rolling Stone, he recalls, "Getting an internship in D.C. is really all about connections. See, even Ben Savage knows the importance of networking and connections." That internship seemed to be the end of Savage's political aspirations. When asked, "Did you think about making a career in politics?" he answered, "Acting and politics are almost too similar. I don't know, you have to be a very specific breed to do that." So as far as we know, it doesn't seem like Ben Savage currently has any plans to seek public office. Number 9, Patrick Ewing. Before he was a New York Knicks basketball star, Patrick Ewing interned for the Senate Finance Committee when Senator Bob Dole was chairman. Just imagine, interning with someone 7 feet tall. Wonder what it was like for the members of Congress and staff that had to continually look up whenever they spoke to Ewing. Ewing is regarded by many as one of the greatest basketball centers of all time. He played most of his 17-year NBA career as the starting center for the New York Knicks. He was an 11-time All-Star and won Olympic gold medals as a member of the U.S. men's Olympic basketball team. Ewing is now the head coach of his alma mater, the Georgetown University men's basketball team. It seems that basketball skills were popular with the Senate Finance Committee at the time. Ewing was not the only person working on the committee that was skilled in shooting, faking, and dribbling. The chairman of the committee, Senator Bob Dole, yes, the same Bob Dole that eventually ran for president against Bill Clinton, also played in a Big Six championship team at the University of Kansas. It seems that Ewing must have enjoyed his time on Capitol Hill because he returned the following summer to intern for the committee again. Crazy to think that these celebrity interns liked interning on Capitol Hill so much that they did it twice. What makes this awesome is that when he interned in the early 80s, he was being paid about $200 a week at a time when paid congressional internships were very rare. Kudos to the Senate Finance Committee for paying their interns. Just to put it into perspective, paid congressional internships have only recently become more common as of 2019. Despite the fanfare around Ewing at the time, he was treated like all the other interns. He does the same stuff that everybody else does, and he does not sign autographs during working hours. As a former intern coordinator myself, it's important to ensure equal treatment of all interns. Stardom doesn't get you out of intern duties. Number 8, Marisa Tomei. Marisa Tomei worked for then Congressman, now Senator, Chuck Schumer of New York. Tomei is more recently known for her role as Aunt May Parker, who's Peter Parker's aunt, yes, Spider-Man's aunt in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She's appeared in Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home, and she will return as the character in Spider-Man No Way Home. Tomei rose to international attention in the 90s with the popular comedy My Cousin Vinny, for which she received the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. She's also appeared in other successful movies including What Women Want, Anger Management, The Ides of March, Parental Guidance, The Big Short, and, more recently, The King of Staten Island. Next up is a triple whammy, number 7, 6, and 5. Yup, we're bundling up the NFL footballers Michael Thomas, Cole Toner, and Brian Witzman. Although Congress can get contentious at times, just like on the football field, a pro tip is to always avoid getting tackled in the halls of Congress. First up is Michael Thomas. He interned for Rep. Sheila Jackson Lee, who is from his hometown in Houston. Thomas's internship is part of an NFL Players Association program geared toward getting the players and alumni opportunities in careers that they might want to pursue after the NFL. That's right. This means that pro NFL football players may be your fellow interns, so keep an eye out. He played for the Miami Dolphins, where he made his professional debut when he recorded an interception off then New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady with 2 seconds left in the game to seal the Dolphins' victory. On March 2018, Thomas signed a contract with the New York Giants and played on defense and special teams. He was named to the 2019 Pro Bowl. Today, Thomas is signed to the Cincinnati Bengals. With a successful career in sports, why did this pro footballer decide to intern in Congress? Well, Thomas states that his involvement in social justice causes inspired him to think about a post-playing career in law or politics. When actions speak louder than words, it seems that Thomas likes public service because he interned not once, but twice for Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. I'm just saying I won't be surprised if we see him in the political field when he's done on the football field. Thomas was not the only NFL player to descend upon Washington, D.C. The other players were Cole Toner, the offensive guard for the Houston Texans, who worked for Senator Todd Young, and then Kansas City Chiefs offensive tackle Brian Witzman, who worked for Representative Robin Kelly. Brian is not your stereotypical jock. After playing professional football for years, he now wants people to know that he's all about finding himself a wife. Thus, like many people hoping to find true love, he did what any reasonable ex-pro football player would do. He joined The Bachelorette on Michelle Young's season that premiered October 2021. Don't hate, I'm a fan of this crossover. A former congressional intern turned Bachelorette contestant? I'm here for it. Mixed sports, politics, love, and reality TV? What could go wrong? Since he was eliminated on night 1, we'll never really know. We wish him well and hope whatever his next move is, it will be for the right reasons. Number 4, Sigourney Weaver. Susan Alexandra Sigourney Weaver interned for a New Jersey Republican in college. It is not specified which member of Congress she worked for. She is an influential figure in science fiction and popular culture. Weaver has starred in Ghostbusters, Avatar, the Alien franchise, and more. Although she interned for a Republican in her early career, Weaver is an active and passionate Democrat. She has donated to Democratic candidates and organizations, as well as given speeches at the Democratic National Conventions. When asked why she worked for a Republican, she states, "My father ran all of Nelson Rockefeller's campaigns. Those were the days when there were a lot of Republicans who were Democrats. I was also working for Rockefeller to defeat Richard Nixon." She adds, "I hadn't decided where I came down on some issues. It was more character-based. Those were the days where in Washington, D.C., all kinds of different people with all kinds of different points of views worked together during the day and went out together at night." Her statement shows that political parties are not one-size-fits-all. Political issues can be complex, and while you may affiliate with one party, it doesn't mean you agree on 100% of the issues. When asked about her intern duties, she shares, "I was in charge of gun control mail. I was supposed to send out one letter that opposed gun control and another letter that was for gun control, which made me a little cynical at the time." While Weaver has shut down the idea that she herself would run for political office, she does believe more women in the political field would improve the current situation. Next up, our top 3. At number 3, Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin once was an intern for his local congressman, the late Rep. Jerome Ambrose. The Emmy Award-winning actor interned in the 70s. He is an American actor, writer, comedian, film producer, and political activist. Baldwin starred in many TV shows and movies. One of his highly notable TV roles was starring as Jack Donaghy on the NBC sitcom 30 Rock. As for movies, he's been in many featured films, including Mission Impossible, The Departed, The Hunt for Red October, Drunk Parents, Rock of Ages, and more. Where politics mixed with acting was his reoccurring portrayal of President Donald Trump on the long-running sketch series Saturday Night Live. Even though he often flirted with a run for political office, Alec Baldwin says he didn't quite fit in at the Capitol. Baldwin recalls back then his fellow interns had one thing on their minds. Most of these guys, they were all just mythical alcoholics in training. It's funny how some things have not changed. Getting on reception lists is still a top priority for many interns and staff. It's where networking happens, and an added perk is the free food and drinks. As working in the public sector doesn't pay very much in DC, it's not hard to see why these receptions are popular. All that said, it is important to be professional. You never know if you'll meet someone that may be your future boss, so avoid becoming a hot mess, or as Baldwin recalls, mythical alcoholics in training. I wonder if he'll ever reconsider entering politics or just remain in Hollywood. Only time will tell. Number 2, Bill Gates. Bill Gates, the 5th richest man in the world, according to Forbes, served as a congressional page in the U.S. House of Representatives. The Page program was a program in which high school students acted as nonpartisan federal employees in the House of Representatives. The program ended in 2011 after 180 years. Gates spent a month during his summer break taking new bills and amendments to the House floor and doing other clerical work. Spoiler alert, instead of feeling inspired by politics, Gates realized he was much more interested in business. He also admitted in a Senate testimony on an antitrust lawsuit it was serving as a page that made him realize political life wasn't for him. He went on to found Microsoft and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. While politics wasn't for him, creating a multinational technology corporation and creating the second largest charitable foundation in the world is not too shabby. Before we get to number 1, if you like learning about Congress, be sure to hit that subscribe and click that like button. Finally, in the number 1 spot, Conan OBrien. Conan OBrien interned for Representative Barney Frank. Conan is an American TV host, comedian, writer, podcaster, and producer. He started his comedic career in the most unconventional way, as a congressional intern. As a former intern himself, Conan knows how important interns are. Conan states, let's face it, the foundation of any show like mine are the interns. They do a lot of hard work and they do it for free. Sound familiar? Interns fuel DC operations. Talk about full circle. A fun fact is that the member of Congress Conan worked for, Representative Barney Frank, appeared as a guest on Conan's talk show. Isn't it funny how your boss one day could be the guest on your own talk show down the road? Pretty much sums up Washington, D.C. An intern today could be the next member of Congress or President of the United States. That's why it's important to be a good person, plain and simple. Treat everyone with respect, because you never know who will one day be hiring you or governing the country. Now, was that a fun list or what? As you can see, career paths vary, and although you may start as a congressional intern, there are many career options outside of politics that you can pursue too. I want to show that interning in public service can be a stepping stone to doing great things. Let me know who your favorite congressional intern is in the comments below. Also, if I missed any congressional interns who are now famous, please go ahead and leave them in the comments as well. Who knows? Maybe I'll make a part 2. Thanks again for watching and see you in the next video.